The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. President Marcos affirms the country's sovereign rights over the West Philippine Sea. In his SONA, Marcos says the Philippines will neither yield nor waver amid China's aggression. This earned the president a round of applause and a huge standing ovation from members of Congress. The president, though, noted that his administration's approach to the issue will continue to be diplomatic.
The Philippines cannot yield. The Philippines cannot waver. We are continuing to strengthen our defensive posture, both through developing self-reliance and through partnerships with like-minded states. Ang West Philippine Sea ay hindi katang-isip natin lamang. Ito ay atin. Ito ay At ito ay mananatiling atin hanggat nag-aalab ang diwa ng ating minamahal na bansang Pilipinas.
Suspended Bamban Mayor Alice Guo was a no-show in the preliminary investigation for her trafficking case. Guo's lawyers filed a counter-affidavit on her behalf before the Justice Department. Despite her absence, PAOK remains firm on pursuing the case, presenting 4 new witnesses. Guo previously expressed her willingness to show up in, quote, the proper forum.
Now, this is the proper forum, no? Dapat pumunta po siya rito para i-presenta yung kanyang counter-affidavit at i-subscribe niya. Pero yun nga, nakakalungkot, wala pa rin po siya ngayon.
Getting a medical checkup in Marikina is now easier thanks to the telemed booth. It's open 24/7 so you can visit anytime. Mobile Journal Evan Tarinque has the story.
Ayon sa kasabihan, health is wealth. Buti na lang sa pamamagitan ng telemed pod na ito, one call away na lang si Doc. Katuwang ni Congresswoman Stella at former Congressman Miro Kimbo, ang mWell at PLDT dito sa teleconsult booth. Dito, one call away na lang si Doc kung ikaw ay magpapakonsult. Libre ang paggamit ng booth. Kaya naman, may 1,000,000 Marikenyo na ang natulungan nito.
We try to augment their on-site doctors. Sinasabayan namin ang teleconsultation yon. So can you imagine, mas mabilis talaga yung takbo ng pasyente.
Kada barangay mayroong tag-5 medical volunteers na nakatoka. 24 hours silang on-call. Kaya pag may kailangan ipakonsulta, mabilis kang mapupuntahan. Sa ngayon, isa pa lang ang teleconsult booth na magagamit ng libre dito sa Marikina. Kadalasan, 15 minutes ang average time na consultation time dito.
Kami po yung pupunta sa kanila para sila po ay i-check up through online. Pwede po namin silang i-connect sa online doctors para makonsulta po sila.
Hindi lang yan. Dahil nag-partner din ng mWell, One Life at Congresswoman Stella Kimbo at Miro Kimbo sa kanilang Clinic on Wheels. Kanilang libreng mobile hospital. Kasama na dyan ang check-up at mga gamot.
Kita talaga namin na kailangan talaga. Hindi pwede talagang sabihin sa ating kababayan na, guys, sorry, hanggang alasin ko lang. Kasi talaga ang pangangailangan sa kanasugan is 24/7.
Sabi nga nila, mahal magkasakit. Kaya kung makakalibre ang medical consultation gaya nito, abay, samantalangin nyo na. Mobile Journal, Ivan Tarinque po hatid ang mukha ng balita.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Let's now take a quick look at today's other headlines. Vice President Sara Duterte's office said she did not watch the live SONA broadcast yesterday. According to the Philippine Star, Duterte paid respects to the late Bohol Vice Governor Junicio Victor Balite instead. She previously said she would not attend the SONA and even appointed herself a designated survivor. And in business world, about 17.5 million Filipinos were living in poverty in 2023. That number is significantly lower than the nearly 20 million in 2021. With this, the poverty incidence among the population fell to 15.5% from the 18.1% estimate in 2021. PhilAmp community organizer and Democrat Joshua De Leon weighs in on Biden's move to drop out of the U.S. presidential race. Here's an excerpt from his interview on The Big Story.
First of all, I wanted to ask your reaction about Biden's decision to step down from the November polls. What is the reaction of Democrats over there?
Thank you for having me. And I think for a lot of Democrats, frankly, it is a sense of relief. There has been this sense of dissatisfaction that, depending on your position in the party, has been either something you can't talk about but whisper behind the scenes, or that you've actively been pushing against for a little while. And so I think there's going to be a little bit of a breaking of the dam, where a lot of folks who have been very uncomfortable with Biden's candidacy so far are going to feel a little bit of that relief now that there's going to be a new candidate at the fore, and hopefully one who's more suited to the moment.
Joshua, what do you think was the tipping point of that decision of President Joe Biden? Was it what happened to former President Trump? Was it the past debate? Or was it leaders from the Democratic Party finally speaking up?
I do think it's a combination of all those things. You know, the truth is that Joe Biden has been in public office in various forms for around 50 years, right? Half of a century. In various forms of leadership as a senator at age 29, right, all the way now to being president. And so he's someone who has been in the public scene for so long that leaving in this role at the peak of his career in terms of accomplishment, I'm sure must have been a very hard decision. But I think that, you know, when you see party leaders both in the press and also publicly starting to chip away at that idea of unified support, I think that for me is probably the biggest sort of straw that breaks the camel's back, if you will, because, you know, Joe Biden has a fairly narrow and trusted pool of advisors now that he's been in office for a few years now. And I don't think that, you know, simple online dissatisfaction or a few pundits would be enough. It really is that concerted pressure from party leaders. And I'm sure a lot of very hard conversations with his family as well.
Okay, what about Kamala Harris? How do Democrats feel about her getting the endorsement from Joe Biden? Does she really have commensurate support enough to win the nomination and maybe perhaps even the election?
I think that it's going to be a difficult race, but in a lot of respects, there are structural advantages for Kamala Harris being the presidential candidate. One thing that is going to be a big difference for her versus a different Democratic presidential nominee is that she'll actually have access to far more of the funds that was raised under the Biden-Harris campaign already. And that's a few $100 million, right? Because she's already on the ticket. If there was a different Democratic presidential candidate instead of Biden or Harris, it would be a lot more difficult for them to transfer that money.
Filipina fencer Sam Catantan is now laser focused on her training for her Olympic debut in Paris. And that's, of course, with the help of her Italian coach, Matteo Zenaro. From Metz, France, Denise Tan has this report.
As Sam Catantan continues her preparation for the Olympic Games, she's now focused on perfecting her strategies. Enter Coach Matteo Zenaro, Sam's head coach in Penn State and former Olympian who won Italy a bronze medal in the Sydney 2000 Olympics. With Italy having the most number of Olympic medals in fencing, Coach Zenaro believes he would be of great assistance to Sam.
Obviously, I know better Italian, so I can try to help her. In Italy, the fencing is much more on reacting and watching what your opponent does because it's a situational sport. So the idea is being able to do the thing a little bit slower, watching how the other one react, and then make my decision.
He has the Olympic experience po and he's a very well-known coach and an athlete as well. I'm very thankful po na he's able to give me those kind of advice. Yung reminder lang po every day kasi minsan nakakalimutan mo talaga yung kapag at the moment while you're fencing with the stress and with the pressure, yung mga basic, even the little things, minsan nakakalimutan mo. Siyempre, I was very excited po for him to be here. Siyempre, siya po yung nakasama ko a month before coming here sa France. And ever since po nung na-injured ako, talagang he was really patient on me po. He really tried to help me a lot this year po to get back.
Aside from the technical reminders, Coach Amat believes Coach Zenaro's presence in Sam's journey is of great value.
Yung time talagang talagang nagpapagaling siya, yung recovery. Si Coach Mateo daw talaga yung tumulong sa kanya. Minsan nagle-lesson sila one-on-one, nakaupo siya. So yun, malaki daw talaga yung naitulong ni Coach Mateo sa kanya. Ang laki ng parte din niya kay Sam.
He kept reminding me that in this tournament, high level na po talaga yung mga athletes. And nakakatuwa nga po kasi na-mention niya na literally like a year ago, hindi ka nga makapaglakad .
During Sam's road to recovery, Coach Zenaro bore witness to her incredible determination and sacrifice.
And I saw her like day by day, working hard, even if it looks like it was an impossible goal. But she didn't care. She just worked it out every single day, October, November, December, January. But the mental side, it's something that me and anyone else can teach you, or you have or you don't have it. And this is probably the biggest quality she has. She is willing to sacrifice everything. So that's the most important thing.
With only 1 week left before the Olympic Games, Sam knows there's only one thing left to do.
I just have to believe po. And then if anything po, they have the pressure and I have nothing to lose in this tournament. And the only thing I can do is to surprise everyone.
From Metz, France, Denise Tan.
And those are the top stories of the hour this Tuesday. I'm Pauline Verzosa. We are One News.